In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the EGR valve on this Volkswagen Jetta. Let's get into it. We're going to pull this cover off. There should be little caps over here. You want to pop those out with a straight blade screwdriver. And then there should be some fasteners holding this down, whether you have some nuts or some bolts, probably a 10mm socket or a T30 socket. You want to use that. Take those out and then just grab this panel and just slide it up and out of the way. There's a vacuum line right up top. You want to just grab that, give it a twist back and forth, and just slide that off, out of the way. And there's a vacuum line over here. You want to disconnect that. Just give it a twist back and forth. Just try to pull that out. If you need to, you can use some pliers or some hose pliers. Just try to work that out. There we go. That pops out. Set that aside. Now you can take this hose off. I'm just going to use some hose clamp pliers. Move this hose clamp. Slide that down there. And just pull the hose off. Working it back and forth. You can slide this out of the way if you want, or you can take the other hose clamp off just to get a little more room. And just take that off. Now we're going to use a hex socket, a 6mm, and take these two bolts out from underneath. And pull that screw out. Now we're going to take this exhaust pipe out. You want to use that same 6mm hex socket. Take those two bolts out. And take that bolt out. All right, there it is. And pull that pipe off. Just like that. Now there's 3 bolts holding the EGR to this pipe here, and we're going to use a 5mm hex socket. Take those bolts out. Just be careful not to drop them. Loosen that up. Take that out. And this bolt. As you're loosening the last bolt, the EGR is going to be loose, so hold on to that while you take that bolt out. And it slides right out. And now you want to scoop some of this out. This is probably why you're replacing the EGR anyway. This is pretty bad, so hopefully yours isn't this bad. Just try to get some of this out. You can use a shop vac and try to vacuum it up as well. You don't want any going into the intake. This intake should probably be removed and completely cleaned out, but do the best you can. That's good. And on the back of the EGR valve, make sure that gasket or seal is right there. If it's not, you want to put a new seal in there. We'll line that up and get the bolts started. Get all those bolts started first before you tighten them down. Then we'll torque those bolts to 84 inch-pounds. Now you want to take this pipe, you want to get some new gaskets, put the new gaskets on. Just putting the bolts on to get those started. And before you tighten those down, we'll take the top bolts that screw into the EGR valve, get those started, and then we'll tighten them all down. Now I'm going to torque these to 18 foot-pounds. It's kind of hard to get a torque wrench in up for the top bolts, but do the best you can. And tighten the top bolts. Again, 18 foot-pounds. Now you want to connect the vacuum lines, this one down below, and put the vacuum line on here. That's good. Now put this intake tube on, line that up. That's good. Now move the clamps. And just move this down. And set those in place. And put the engine cover on. Line that up. And put the screws in and nuts that hold that down. If there's a clamp right here holding that vacuum line on, put that on.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.